Yes, Kalimera. Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation, and yeah, welcome to Vienna, a livable city, and to our social housing, which is more than 100 years old, and therefore does this work? There it is. Okay, so let's tell you a story on maybe the first place where Evangelia, for example, moved into after leaving her family home is the kind that many young professionals dream of inhabiting at the peak of their career at only 26. So she lives in a bright fifth-floor apartment with high ceilings overlooking in European capital city, 10 minutes from the central station and within walking distance of cinemas and bars. So no lottery win or parental trust fund was needed to make the dream reality. Evangelia, who is a master student, pays €596 for a 45 square meters two-bedroom apartment, a fraction of typical rents for similar size and similar located apartments in other major European cities. So what's more, she didn't have to put down a deposit on her rental contract. It is unlimited, this contract, and in theory, she's allowed to pass it on to her children or a sibling when he eventually decides to move on. So welcome to the city of Vienna that may have cracked the code how to keep inner city housing affordable. As other cities battle spiraling rental prices, partly fueled by inner city apartment being used as a short-term holiday rentals or being kept strategically vacant by property speculators, the Austrian capital bucks the trend. In the place that last year retained its crown as the world's most livable city in the Economist annual index, Vienna's renters on average pay roughly a third of their counterparts in London, Paris, or Dublin, according to a study of Deloitte. So you see that 43% of the housing market is especially for this affordable housing in the city of Vienna, and that especially in the featured of Vienna housing market is that 76% of the population are rent their apartment. So part of the reason Evangelia's apartment is so affordable is simply it's owned by the city of Vienna. The city of Vienna is the largest home-owning city in Europe. In London, for example, which has more than 800,000 social rented apartments, they're owned by local councils, and 500,000 of these home-owning flats in the city of Vienna belongs to the city itself. So a quarter of the people who live in Vienna are social tenants. So smart city technology can improve social housing through more efficient planning, lower cost modulus construction, and the use of smart energy systems. They reduce living costs, integrating social housing into mixed-use neighborhoods, and using digital planning tools to select locations are further approaches to creating housing that is both affordable and well integrated into the urban infrastructure. So how smart city concepts support, they are needed to support social housing. You see here an example of a social house in Vienna. It's called the Marx area, Karl Marx Hof, Karl Marx City, which is quite famous, known because it's one of the very, very first super blocks of community buildings in Vienna. So digital urban planning, what does this mean? That means data-driven tools and digital twins enable cities to simulate development scenarios for such smart houses. This ensures that social housing is built in optimal locations that are well connected to transport, schools, and workplaces. Modular and prefabricated constructions. So advances in modular construction enables faster and cheaper building. So also with 3D printers for housing, smart materials, and prefabricated systems reduce waste, ensure energy efficient, durable homes. So energy and resource efficiency, smart energy systems, and water-saving infrastructure can reduce running costs for residents, so thereby improving the long-term affordability of social housing. Mixed use and inclusive urban development, so the integration of affordable housing into mixed-use neighborhoods promotes economic diversity and vibrant communities. So smart urban planning can help to combine affordable housing and quality of life. Public-private partnership, so collaboration between governments, developers, and technology companies, supported by the Smart City of Vienna framework, can facilitate the financing and implementation of large social housing projects. What are the challenges and change? So although housing has often not been the focus of smart city initiatives in the past, this is increasingly changing. Cities are recognizing that holistic quality of life must also include affordable housing and a reduction of homeless. Initiatives in cities such as Barcelona and New York show that there is a growing search for innovative tools and technologies to make housing more affordable and integrated into a smart city vision like in Vienna. Yeah, social housing, this started in the late 19th and early 20th century. So Vienna was beset by a dramatic housing shortage. So above all, working class was constrained to live in the cramped quarters and great poverty. So these extreme crowding and lack of hygiene favored outbreaks of various epidemics. So tuberculosis was referred to as the Viennese disease because it was more frequent in the Austrian capital than in other European countries. It was also considered as a typical alignment of the working class. So reaction on this condition, the Social Democratic City Government, which was the first time voted into office after World War I, undertook concerted efforts towards a significant improvement of the housing situation, and in the early 1920s, the City Council adopted the first housing construction program for Vienna, provided for the construction of 25,000 flats over a 5-year period. So the underlying objective was to create affordable, high-quality homes for broad strata of the population. So, but much more, it was achieved a housing estate with fresh air, light, and sunshine that at the same time offered kindergartens, schools, landing libraries, as well as communal facilities. So although framework conditions and needs have to change over the years and decades, the city of Vienna has remained true to its fundamental policy intention of ensuring the supply of its citizens with modern and affordable housing. Contrary to other European cities, the treatment of municipal housing estates as an object of profiteering was always out of the question. So Vienna has invested in the system of housing promotion, is one of the most important tools for continuing to provide a sufficient quota of affordable dwellings despite rising demand. So not least because of its asset, Vienna is considered one of the most worldwide livable cities, so no other European city can boast the similar consistency of its social housing policy, a policy that was never abandoned, not even when the spirit of the area was dedicated by neoliberalism or privatization. So the city of Vienna is committed to subsidized housing construction and, contrary to many other metropolis, has never considered selling off its municipality stock. So the great number of subsidized dwellings expert price dampening effect also on the entire house market. of the Austrian capital, and as a result, rents in Vienna are relatively moderate when compared to other metropolis. A wide range of affordable housing uses can still be granted in Vienna. So today, around 50% of the Viennese live in such a subsidized dwelling, either in one of these 220,000 municipal units or in one of the 200,000 cooperative flats built with municipality of City of Vienna subsidies. So Vienna has 1,800 municipality houses. Estates alone are home to close to 500,000 citizens now, and this is called the Vienna model of social housing to ensure that future generations too will have access to sufficient number of affordable dwellings. And this is also in the Vienna law, that if you are 16 years old, you have the right for such a flat in the city of Vienna. Yeah, and last but not least, in 2019, we introduced a new zone rule. That means that in developments with more than 5,000 square meters of living space, 2/3 must be subsidized housing. So for cities, the question is always whether they have a good bargaining position with landowners. Yes, the City of Vienna has a very good bargaining position. So the city's land procurement fund coordinates closely with the department that hands out planning permissions and can strike deals accordingly. Whether Vienna will reach its targets of building 6,000 new of these flats by end of 2025, and whether that will be enough if the city is expected to return to its population by 2038, around of 2.5 million people living in the city of Vienna. After an 11-year freeze on new social housing development, the city resumed to build new blocks, and one of them is this smart city here in the Lake of Aspang. So it's 70 kilometers away from the city centers, and in this we have new we have a lot of space there now on facilitating new public services, new schools, new kindergartens, and fully plenty of such social housing in this new smart city, where we are also supporting and testing new technologies, so self-driving cars, self-driving buses in this smart city of Seestadt Aspern. So the facades of the new area are painted in chalky reds, blues, and greens that reference the mighty fortress of the Red Vienna period. So also with prices of building materials peaking during the construction phase, there's plenty of bar, concrete, and galvanized steel. So the rise in the cost of raw materials forced us to concentrate on what social housing is really about. A pivot for more than a century, Vienna's ideals of communal living have shown that they can stand the test of time, and these buildings should be still standing in 200 years. Evcharisto Poli. Thank you.